Hey folks, Matt Major from Clickstream Studios. I have the privilege of being back here with Christine O'Connell Moore on the details of the deal. I love this show. This is like my second favorite podcast.
Well, we won't ask what your favorite one is.
I gotta say my own.
Of course.
I got it.
Thank you, Matt.
Christine, thanks for having me back. You know, I love real estate. I love all these things that we get to talk about. So it's always such a pleasure to be here and get the news firsthand from you before anybody else, really. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, it's the end of the year, which is very exciting.
I don't know how that happened.
How did it go by so fast, right? I think this is my 10th podcast. So I feel like that's a milestone. Little later, we'll talk about what the year's been like and maybe some predictions for 2026.
Love it.
But so maybe we start out with following up on the big announcement we made in the last podcast.
Yeah.
Your new studios, and I'm working together on the deal there. Tell me a little bit about Clickstream Studios and also what people's reaction to your move has been.
Yeah. So thank you, Christine. And again, for those, if you didn't see the last episode, or you didn't see anything, or you didn't see the Sunday paper, because there was just a big article in the Sunday paper.
How about that?
I got props today. The Spaghetti Warehouse in downtown Syracuse, it's been there for over 3 decades, is vacating. The opportunity came about that they were looking for new tenants in that building. And as soon as I saw that, immediately reached out to Christine and immediately pursued it as a new space for Clickstream Studios. So what we do, for those who don't know, and to your question, Christine, was we are a digital content marketing agency. So if you're watching this podcast, this is one of the things that we do for our clients like Christine, is we help make digital content. When we started less than a year ago now, we started with this idea of this podcast approach. Again, exactly what we're doing here. So our clients come in once or twice a month, they record a podcast, and we put that out just like you're seeing here. But we also put out all kinds of social media clips. So we take that podcast, slice it up, and put it out. So you have that steady flow of really good, really organic content. And as we started doing that for folks, the demand for that service took off. But also we realized there's lots of other things in the digital content marketing world that clients want and that we have the capabilities to provide. What we're able to do is go well beyond the basic podcast and go full-blown content marketing now. So to do that, we wanted more resources, and we started looking for bigger places to expand. We've got this incredible studio that you see here, but it really is just one room in this location. At the new spot that's close to 17,000 square feet, we will have a wide variety of sets and studios made for everything from kind of traditional product photography and portraits even, down to what we're doing here, where we're making digital content. So podcasts and online videos. We'll have room for an event space, what I'm calling a connected event space. Actually, our video wall that you see here will live in that room.
Great.
And it will be set up to have events where we can fit a large number of people, rather in rows of chairs or tables, what have you. But it'll also be completely lit and cameraed up as a TV studio. So we'll be able to have events with a group of folks there, but also live stream it or record it to folks that are in remote locations. And something that people have been really asking for, that there isn't a great space to do that with here. So we're going to do a lot of crazy things in this new massive space. We're going to take advantage of the history of the Spaghetti Warehouse. The trolley car that everybody knows so well will be an integral part of a lot of different sets you'll see in a lot of different content. And even some of the other just natural surfaces in the building, the original brick of the building, is going to make for just a beautiful, real nice high-end background for all kinds of different types of content and things. So we're very excited.
That's great. I mean, one of the things that people have asked me is, are you going to keep the trolley car?
Yeah.
Yes. So people are, and I always say yes, and people are very happy to hear that.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the sort of fast selling that you've been talking about. Because I find that very interesting, and anything I've really seen here.
So this is something a lot of people are interested in when we started talking about it, because it's a new thing. It's called live social selling, or live social shopping, I guess, if you're on the other side of it. But if you've been on TikTok, you've seen TikTok Shop. If you've been on, there's an app called Whatnot. And even if you haven't been on those, the traditional marketplaces like eBay and Amazon and even Walmart.com now have live shopping. And what this is it's modern day QVC, if you remember that.
Sure.
It's a host demonstrating a product to an audience. What's unique about it, though, in this social media, this modern world, is it's completely interactive. So if you remember back in the day on QVC, they would take a caller and you had to call the hotline. You know, it was like the radio to get on and ask the question.
And then wait.
Now you don't. It's a live chat while the thing's going. It's very interactive. And what's neat is this concept has sort of bridged e-commerce and buying online with what we loved about in-person shopping, which was being able to ask a salesperson a question, right?
Right.
Now you can do that.
Yes.
Not only are they demonstrating it, but you can go, hey, does it do this? And hey, can you flip it over so I can see this? And you can have that live interaction right online. And then, of course, the best part is you like that item, you want to buy it, you click, and you've purchased it, and it's on its way to you.
Right.
So it's not like an ad where you have to go to the company's website or you got to go through these 10 different steps to complete your purchase. It's very, almost in a dangerous way, very easy to go, hey, I want that, click, I've bought it.
Right. So instead of calling an 800 number like we would have with QVC, you're going to go online and go to a webpage and connect. Well, this is a new type of retail.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talk about retail. Retail's all part of commercial real estate, and this is all part of that. And
100%.
using different type of space, you're basically using cyberspace,
Yeah.
right, to do this, and but within the context of your new studios, and that's really key, I think, to
100%.
having the facilities for you.
What, how we're going to go about it, I guess, how we're going to help folks with this concept is we are going to have a number of dedicated sets, and ideally a number of brands will actually rent their own kind of set space from us that's set up for them. So imagine, you know, Acme anvils, you know.
Oh no, watch out.
They become a client of ours.
Yeah.
And what we might have is a set that has nothing but their logo and their products and everything. And then we provide the talent and we provide everything to go live and sell their product. So it's not a matter of like we do with you, where you have to come in here to make your content. If you have a product, our people do the whole thing. So all you really need to do is ship us a few items to show, to demonstrate in person, and we do the rest for you. And ideally, like I said, provide all of the resources, make it look great, and execute for folks.
Without naming the names of the companies, can you share what type of products you're anticipating participating?
Yeah, well, I can just tell you just sort of industry trends, right? Beauty products and fashion are number one.
Sure.
So, and when I say beauty products, it's not limited to ladies. There is, of course, a massive market for makeup and all kinds of products for ladies, but supplements for men, hair growth things, all those things have been really huge. Fashion is always just the top retail in any form, really, and it translates to this live selling as well. You're finding folks buying all kinds of clothes and things like that. And then probably, I would say, to round out the top three would probably be collectibles. So could be collectible sports cards, sports memorabilia, but there's also a massive market for these kind of role-playing game cards, Pokemon and World of Warcraft and these things and there's lots of others that people in this world, you and I probably never heard of, but very collectible, again, a card game based thing. Those are probably the biggest sellers, but really you're seeing people sell any item you could buy in the mall right now.
And do you think it's an opportunity for small businesses to promote their products in a way they probably couldn't afford to do before?
100%.
Excellent.
100%. It allows you to reach a massive, massive audience. And what's neat is you can share that among others. So like I said, we're going to go live and provide the talent and provide a person who sells these things. But also when we set this up the right way, you can attract influencers to sell your product. And the way you do that is they just get a commission. But TikTok and all these apps have a very efficient system for this. So you can very easily provide that. They very efficiently get paid their commissions and things. So they like it. So if you have a product that's mildly interesting, you can go to 10, 50 of these influencers all over TikTok and all over the internet, and they will go out and sell your product for you. So you're able to really get that exposure. You know, you think about hiring an army of salespeople that work only on commission.
Right.
That's the opportunity you have here.
And why the name change for your company?
Yeah, so we were, if you followed along, we used to be Growth Mode Content. And to take half a step back, our parent company, the LLC, is still Growth Mode Technologies, LLC. And Growth Mode Content and our IT business, your local IT department, are sort of brands under that. And as I mentioned, as we move into this new space, we're expanding into a lot more services, right? And we just felt that the old name lended itself specifically to podcasts, where this new Clickstream Studios is just a easier to brand name that really talks about everything that we're doing, not just the one piece, if that makes sense.
Oh, it's great. And it sounds very modern.
Yeah,
Yes,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
We've gotten tremendous feedback. A lot of
Good.
folks who didn't want to tell us they didn't like the previous name.
Well, because it didn't really lead you probably
No.
in the direction you wanted it to.
No, it didn't. It was a simple, it's like, we're Growth Mode Tech. I'll do the content side. We'll call it Growth Mode Content. There we go. That's how
There
much
you
thought
go.
went into that. But
And we'll put up your contact information. So if anyone's interested in
absolutely.
more information on podcasts or the selling or all the content.
And the cool part is, likely the next episodes of this particular podcast, even you'll be able to see recorded in that new facility.
Oh, that would be
downtown.
great. Maybe
So,
we could do a tour.
yeah, 100%.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. It's been really nice to work with you.
I do want to take a second and thank you again for all your help. I'm an entrepreneur. I got lots of experience in IT and all kinds of things technical. I don't know anything about real estate and negotiating leases and all these things, and especially for a space of this size, it's not the same as when you go rent an apartment as a single guy.
It's long-term commitment.
Yeah, it's a much longer commitment than that apartment I rented as a single guy. So having an expert to really navigate that and help us do all the stuff that I don't even know how to do was just incredible. And I can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you. And I do believe in working with people who know what they're doing and it's their specialty. And that's why I like working with you. So it's an excellent two-way street.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there's some other people in town with some real estate things.
Yes, believe it or not, right?
Yeah, I'm not the only guy.
Yeah. So I wanted to just give a little update on the listing of the month from last month.
Yes.
3229 East Genesee Street, across from Nottingham High School. It's a former diabetes center, the Joslin Diabetes Center, and it's 22,500 square feet. My owners of the building, the people I work for, are ready to make a deal. And they have two big projects they're working on, and they'd like to move this building and so they can really focus on those other two buildings.
Sure.
So I just wanted to mention it, and we're going to, by next week, we'll have a big announcement as far as what we're doing with pricing, and we'd like to get a tenant or a buyer first quarter for next year.
That's great.
So throw that out there.
Is that 22,000 square feet? Is that probably a couple of stories?
No, it's a single-story building.
Oh, really?
Which is very accessible,
Wow.
and there's two ways in and out, in addition to single doors around the building. Because if it stays medical, doctors like to be able to come in a separate office or separate door, so they're not walking through the reception area and everybody sees them and knows they're there, and all that sort of thing. So it has two main entrances, and then it has auxiliary doors around the building. Has a garage door, and it also has income from a cell tower on the roof.
Oh, wow.
So there's already income.
What a great opportunity.
It is a great opportunity, and you're going to see the price really slashed and the lease price slashed almost in thirds.
Wow.
Yes. So we'll talk. So anybody who wants more information, just let me know, and look for the announcement on that too.
Cool.
Okay. But our December, which will go into January, probably January before everybody sees this, listing of the month is a horse farm that I have in Sandy Creek, New York.
Oh.
It's a beautiful horse farm. It has 7 stalls, 4.6 acres of land, with additional acreage next door. There's a rental apartment in the barn, well, on one side of the barn, I should say. And so you could already have rental income, and there's a trainer's room upstairs that could possibly be turned into another apartment. It is less than an hour from downtown Syracuse, and little closer to Watertown, and has been impeccably maintained. The owners are very proud of it, and we're really looking to find the right buyer for that building.
That's great. It's a gorgeous property.
It's a gorgeous property. It's a very unique opportunity. It's very affordably priced, and I think that we just have to find just the right people. And if you want to build a house, you can build a house next door on the land. There's the additional land that there is. There are rings. There are these are outside rings.
Wow.
And almost the entire property is fenced in. And there's a little area for the horses to get out of the shelter if they don't come into the barn too.
Wow. It's incredible.
So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm hoping that that will be something people will be looking for maybe towards spring,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, as the snow starts to melt.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be wonderful.
Yes.
And then also you've been attending some conferences lately too, right?
Yeah, I was in New York City 2 weeks ago. Fabulous time to be in New York with the Christmas and the
Yeah.
holidays, and you know, it was busy. Oh my goodness! But you like to see that. You feel the energy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like I'm always busier in New York than I am when I'm here because you just get pushed along by
Right.
the energy. So there was I attended the ICSC conference, which is the International Conference of Shopping Centers,
Oh.
which is probably misnamed because it's retail.
Okay.
Yeah, and retail's not always in shopping centers now,
Sure.
as we just talked about, right? There's all kinds of different retails. In fact, maybe this would be a conference you might want to take a look
That's
at.
interesting.
Yes, it's the major East Coast retail conference. They have a big national one in Vegas in May, but this one tends to attract more people on the East Coast. I noticed this year that there's a larger number of developers and brokers than I've seen in the past. Then usually it's been more retailers in the past.
Really?
Now it seems like it's people who are looking to attract the retailers and bring the retailers they're representing. So
Interesting.
I think that is interesting. I personally, I find it a little disappointing when there's fewer retailers because I like to see
Yeah.
what's new and what's out there. But it's expensive. It's New York, you know,
Sure.
and everyone's looking to pinch their pennies, I think. But they were hustling hard. The retailers were definitely hustling hard. When you went by a booth, you heard someone say, you know, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for someone who does what you do, you know, and there were deals being made.
So when we talk about that, it's the retailers, all of this in the context of finding new spaces and new real estate. Is that
Yes, and maybe new territories and
interesting?
yes.
The customer side, I guess. What is it that they're looking for you to do? What are they, when you say they're calling you into the booth and things,
Right.
what do they want you to do for them? Is just
They want you to
find
find them
property.
spaces. Yeah,
Okay.
find property, site planning, development, maybe find them a developer.
I
So
see.
maybe they don't have a building department. So they're looking for you to put the whole package together.
Gotcha.
In some cases, I mean, there were local companies that were represented there, local brokerage companies, as well as developers who had booths.
And are these traditionally like national brands that you might see, and they're telling you they want to come into these different territories? Is that why they might go there?
Yes, national brands as well as brands that are expanding.
Wow,
Yes.
that's neat.
So it is neat. It's really, every year I learn something. Every year I see people that, it's funny, you run into people there from Syracuse you don't run into in Syracuse.
That's funny.
Yes, or from Central New York. But it was a really good experience. There were many thousands of people there, and they were doing podcasts all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, you see AI a lot,
Mhm.
and you know, more modern technologies, things that 15 years ago you would not have seen. I mean, and maybe that's why it seems like there's fewer retailers because
Yeah.
there's so much more of the technology that's surrounding you.
Sure.
You know, instead of, I'll call the old school, you know, retailers, the Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts and that sort of thing. Not that they're not represented there, but you know, I don't think that some of them have the presence that they used to have, and
Gotcha.
some of them don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
You know, you
Met
some
their
people do it
expansion goals and things.
exactly,
Yeah.
and some people in the beginning of their businesses really expanded these kind of
Sure.
shows too. Yes, so it was a good experience, and I will definitely be going back next December.
That's neat.
Thank you. So there's lots of stuff happening in the area. You know, this is the time of the year where sometimes new construction gets a little quiet. But we did just get an announcement on 88 apartment units near Syracuse University on South Cross Ave. This will be an interesting build out, I believe, because although it'll be available to students, it's not going to be exclusively for students. So I
Interesting.
always think that's kind of a tricky balance sometimes.
Yeah.
But young people who are working downtown, you know, they don't need to be quiet at 10 o'clock at night. And, you know, I think that,
I wonder if that might be targeted at some of the hospital staff.
I think so. And especially with 81 coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be easier to get to some of the areas. And it's being developed by the Woodbine Hospitality Group, who I just did the new hotel and spa in Skinny Atlas.
Oh, okay.
And they used to own the Genesee Grand, which is just down the street from this. And
Gotcha.
they Copper Beach student housing, and they renovated a temple into housing. I'm hoping to have them on
Wow.
podcast sometime because they've done some really cool work.
That's neat.
Yes, so that'll be nice to see. I also have an off-market opportunity.
Ooh.
I don't think it's going to be available too long, but it's 44 units of apartments. I'm not allowed to publicly discuss where it is, but I can tell you, because you're all my friends, right? And you can contact me for more information. It's close to 100% occupancy, 44 units, new roofs in 2021, which is huge because the saying in the real estate world is, oh, it's for sale, it must need a roof. So you'd be surprised the number of buildings that do, right? So, not always the case, but it's kind of our own little silly industry joke.
No, it's absolutely.
New windows, located in an area that definitely has housing needs, and priced at $4.5 million.
Wow.
The sellers are looking for a fast close, or they're going to refinance the property.
Gotcha.
So if someone's interested, please do contact me as soon as possible, and I'll be happy to talk to you offline about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so Christine, that's what's coming up. But what should we talk about this past year? We've come to the end of the year.
Yes.
What we should talk about what happened this year.
So it's been a really good year for my business. So I'm really happy. Thank you to people like you and to others who have shown confidence in my company, and that's always exciting.
Absolutely.
I think I've sold just about, or leased just about every type of real estate there is out there.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I like that. One of the things I love about what I do. Industrial buildings are still really hot. They're selling like crazy. You see most of them sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do. And a lot of it is the Micron effect.
Mm-hmm.
And people are looking to put themselves in place, either to use the buildings themselves or thinking they're going to go up in value because of Micron coming to the area. So we're still going to want, I think that 2026 will continue also.
Yeah.
And multifamily continues to be hot. People have not built very much, but that's going to change. And occupancy is high. Rents are high too, but occupancy is high. Interest rates are just starting to come down. So people have not been buying houses at the rate they would have, and there hasn't been a lot of availability.
Yeah.
So people who own apartments are seeing high occupancy. Office space, and this is an interesting, because you've just done this, or you're just doing this. You're moving from the suburbs to a more urban area, and we're finding that Class A office space, people are looking to move from the suburbs to the downtown area.
Interesting.
So that's a trend in our area, and they're still working against the work from home, and I think people will come to an interesting space like what you're just rented, because it's not just this beige building. Yeah. Right. And for people to leave their homes, which they've been really comfortable in, it's been hard to get people back to the office, as they say. So maybe with providing more attractive amenities, local restaurants, places you can walk to at lunchtime, the gym down the street, that sort of thing, we'll see that people will want to come back to the office more.
Sure.
So I think that's been a part of this year, and again, we'll continue to next year. The enthusiasm for Micron remains high. We still have people who think it's not going to happen, because I think that's just how people are.
Yeah.
Show me. We're a show me kind of area. We've had projects that have been promised and haven't happened, and so people have been burned. But I think that people are really looking to make their investments in the market now, because it's not going to get any less expensive. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it is happening. They,
it is.
To add to your recap of the year, they opened their first office in downtown Syracuse.
Did, yes.
The Micron name is in the Syracuse skyline now.
And one of the tallest buildings in downtown Syracuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got dozens of employees on payroll
and
working today.
They've also opened a clean room at OCC, Onondaga Community College, which is stunning. I want to take a tour of it. It looks amazing. And, that was at least $1 million investment from what I understand. And they've been making investments in not-for-profits in the area and making their presence known.
Absolutely.
So we're pretty excited about that. And our highway work continues, and we're really seeing the progress, which is so nice. And does this relate to real estate? Yes, because it's how people get to where they want to go. And, we've always been kind of a 15-minute town. We might become a 20-minute town just because of growth.
Yeah.
But the other day, I got off at a highway that I'd never, an exit that I never got off at before. Yeah. And I've lived here my whole life, kind of right along the lines of 81 in the 60s, and so I've grown with the 81, and now it's changing. And it's interesting to see how it will change people's pathways home, people's pathways to work, and where work will be, where homes will be. Yeah. The whole Brighton Ave exit and entrance, there's big plans for up there. We're looking for some new developers. So I think that that we're not seeing an end to the 81 construction, but we're seeing progress. Yeah. And we're certainly seeing where there will be an end to it. Which kind of works us into my forecast for 2026. Sure. Downtown 81 will come down. Yeah. And that's going to be just an amazing, I'm sure it'll be more than a day, but months or whatever that takes to take it down. People are already looking, as we've talked about before, already looking at what to do with the space underneath where 81 was. just read something this morning that said, nobody's going to want to build a coffee shop underneath 81, but they certainly will when it comes down.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. And, I don't know if there's that small Dunkin' Donuts near,
Yeah.
right close to where 81 is going to come down. And that was built so that it could be expanded upon in the future.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think they ever would have built it there.
Yeah.
And it's just simply drive through, but
Yep.
they'll expand that, I'm sure, to a full,
Oh, that makes
full
sense.
coffee shop, which makes a lot of sense. And there'll be niche coffee shops along the way, and
Oh,
other things
100%.
too. Yes. So that's kind of exciting. And I think that there'll be definitely new housing, both multi-housing, non-traditional housing. I just saw somebody build tiny houses inside of a warehouse in Minneapolis. I just saw an article
Really?
this morning. I thought it was so interesting because you have a lot less need for, if you're already in a building that's already has heat in it.
Yep.
You don't need to build as much heat around your buildings. Now you maybe have some central facilities that people
Mhm.
can use. And they have camaraderie, which has to help people,
Yeah.
get back into society and to do the things they need to do. Yet maybe not feel like they're in such a tiny home. too.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to look at expanding, and maybe some of our warehouses that aren't readily reusable to something else would be something to look for too.
I saw this place, it was a while ago. I got to see if I can find it. It was really incredible. It was sort of that concept, but it was a business. And they took a warehouse and they built essentially tiny houses in it as people's offices,
Oh, interesting.
but they were set up like a village.
Mhm.
So you could walk down the hall and everybody had like their little house,
Right.
but it was their office. And it was decorated very interestingly, and they had different teams. The HR team and the marketing team had a different little village all in.
Wow.
It was really, really unique, but it looked like a fun place to work. And you reminded me when you talk about building those indoors, but
we're all living so long now too,
Mhm.
God willing. And so I think people will be looking for different housing options, and they may not want to spend 30 years of their life alone in a
Yeah.
house, but in a more of a village sort of setting like that, where they still feel like they have their own individual place.
Yeah.
They even though it's not air outside, you've got the surrounding warehouse, and there's already some infrastructure built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it could save a lot of money in building these properties, and could be really used, especially to bring people back into society as we think of society.
I
So I look back. I'm aging myself here, but I look back at the Jetsons, and if those of you who remember the Jetsons will know that it was very communal.
Yeah.
People buzzed over to visit people, and the
Sure.
things that were on the Jetsons we do today, an awful lot of.
Yeah.
We didn't have microwaves when the Jetsons came out.
That's true.
But we do now, and obviously the other technologies.
Yeah.
So I think that our imagination is really the only thing that limits us as to what we can do as far as new housing goes and types of housing.
I'm with you. Absolutely.
So that could be exciting, not just for 26, but for continuing on through our decade.
We're probably going to see this mixed use trend. That's not going away anytime soon, right? These buildings that have commercial and residential in the same spot.
Well, and in some, I agree with you. They're not going to go away. Renting the commercial is usually the most difficult part of these buildings. And the state of New York, for one, and I'm sure other states too, have had some really good funding sources. If you agree to put a certain percentage of your building as commercial, they would give you tax abatements and that sort of thing. That has some of those are ending. Some of those programs are ending.
Mhm.
There'll be new programs, I'm sure, because the housing is a priority
Yeah.
for our area. But the mixed use is popular. You just have to have the right ones and the right parking and stuff. A restaurant that's going to take up all the parking for 5 hours is a tricky thing.
Sure.
A doctor's office where people are in and out is a little bit easier in different types of offices. So it needs to be more than just let's put some retail in there.
Yeah.
It needs to make sense for the building and for the area.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Otherwise, because vacancies, vacant sites and vacant
Sure.
units do no good for anyone, not just
Sure.
financially, but just for the health of the building.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I like the idea. I feel like if you could get the right mix, I think of a nice apartment building, you can go downstairs and there's a little market or a coffee shop or
Sure.
a couple other things that people in the building,
Right.
those just become amenities at that point. That seems like a great model, but it's got to find that mix, right?
Definitely. When I was in New York, I went over to New Jersey to visit a client. And I had not been to his office before, and I wasn't sure how long it would take because, New York traffic,
Sure.
you never know, right? So I gave myself lots of extra time, but I was able to go online and look and see if there was a coffee shop right in the same building where my client was. And there are apartments above. There was retail on the first floor, offices on the second, and then apartments above.
Wow.
Very similar to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to give myself lots of time and I'll go have a cup of coffee and, gather my
Sure.
notes for the meeting and everything. And I could see the coffee shop online and the whole building. And I think that that is really convenient for people to be able to do that and plan their days and, especially in an area where you're not quite sure how long it's going to take you to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yes. So I'm enthusiastic. I'm about the future in 2026 and what's going to be happening and look forward to filming my next podcast, maybe in your new studios.
Yes.
And having some great guests. I already have Jeff Cook from Rochester lined up.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully he'll be my January guest.
Cool.
And he has a really large selection of very nice mobile home parks.
Oh, wow.
It's another type of living, right?
Yep.
And he's now starting some other new projects, so he's going to come on and talk to us, as well as many other guests.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so that's great.
There's always good stuff on this show.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Thank you. So until next year.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Yes, thank you for everyone who's followed. I have noticed an increase in people watching my reels.
Love it.
So that makes me happy, and look forward to more of those next year.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Christine.
Thank you.